Howdy do, fellas and lady fellas. You don't build guitars. I'm sorry. You don't. You're not. The word luthier, the term, is way overused. I'm going to take my guitar to the luthier and have him give it an adjustment. He's not a luthier. He's a tech. If there's a luthier out there that's doing setups, I guess you got to make your money somehow, but I don't know. You don't build guitars, and you're not a luthier. You take your parts caster builder, and you're not a builder. You're not building. I'm sorry. You just don't. You're a screwer together kind of fella. You take a body that you have here and a neck that you have here, and you put them together, screw it on, throw some parts of the string on there, bing, you got a cool guitar. It's a parts caster. You're not building. This is my new build. I got a new build going on here. No, you don't. I'm sorry, you don't. Very controversial. And this is coming from a guy that I don't consider myself one either. I don't. But this guitar I built from scratch. From little chunks of wood. The neck, everything. The only thing I bought pre-done was the fretboard from Warmoth. But all mahogany neck, all mahogany body. It's my design that I came up with. I made this in late 90s. I made a bunch of them. I made a few. I was like, I'm going to be a guitar builder. Hey-hey! So expensive. This is the most expensive one I made. And it was like, back then, it cost $700. I think at least $700 just to make this. There's no way I could sell something like this. Nobody wants to buy a handmade Sriracha. Look at this little bad boy. Hoo-hoo-wee. Wilkinson Trum, EMG 8187s. Wow, man, everything you could ever want. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody's going to buy it. But I bought them. I made them for fun because it's what I like to do. I learned from a book, too. I should have the book, but I don't. It's packed away somewhere. But what's his name? God damn it, I can't remember his name. Anyway, I bought this book on how to make guitars, and that's how I started doing it. I made this one. This was the last one I made. The first one I ever made, check this out. It's in pieces. Here's the body. Swamp ash body there. Made all kinds of mistakes. I had to shim some stuff here in the neck. Yeah, very lightweight. Swamp ash. Pain about to work with. You can feel the grain. Which at the time I had no idea what I was doing. I'm like, I don't know what any of this does. And the neck. This is the second neck I made from Scratcheroonies. The first one I completely screwed up. But this one, it was bird's eye maple. And I think, yeah, I'm going to go for the fancies. Nah, I screwed it up. This one is okay. It's fine. I was going with the headstock was kind of inspired by Nuno Betancourt, his headstock. But look, this has been sitting in the garage for years. Here it is, second guitar neck I ever made. Look at that. And I also came up with an idea of doing a compound. Well, this is a compound range fretboard, but where it's thicker up here, like a C, modern C, and it's a little thinner down here. So when you're, even though I don't do that kind of stuff, but I like a big, thick, fat baseball bat. Not those Ibanez Wizards, which I had too. Bone nut, which is a little loose. Oh boy, it just popped out. Oh. Anyway, second guitar neck, body, first body I ever made. There. Second guitar. This one I got fancy. And this thing is just all kinds of dirty. But this is a mahogany walnut. So filthy. With some maple veneer there. Really neat. Screwed up the headstock. I went a little too deep there. Can't tell, but screwed up all kinds of things. This is just a learning in progress, like figuring this out. Had to put some wings on there to make the headstock the way I wanted it. Rosewood fingerboard. The old wheel for truss rod adjustment. Great stuff. In pieces. Second body, all walnut. 2-piece walnut body. Ooh. Walnut body. I had, when I did this, I did David Gilmour EMGs. And it's pretty cool. Pretty neat. String through. That didn't work out very well. That's why I had to put this fancy little pickguardy thing on there. It's because I screwed it up and gouged the wood, so I had to put that little thing on there so it looks pretty. I kind of screwed up the horn. It's a little too skinny. But guitar number 2 I made. From scratch. It was my favorite. All mahogany. Nice. I bought big old chunks of mahogany from this place called the Woodworker's Source. And I had a huge slab of mahogany. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guitars out of it. This one, it was supposed to be, so thin it is. Tiny. It's really tiny. But it's a full scale, 25.5-inch scale length. Skinny, because it was supposed to have a flame maple book match top. And I screwed that up. So, I guess it's a tiny little thing. And it's got a wenge. I don't know if I've ever pronounced that. Wenge neck with a maple laminate there. Great. I love this guitar. It plays so good. The neck contour is fantastic. I love it. Of course, I screwed up the string through again because I'm learning. 5 position. I love the way this feels. I hate the way it sounds because these are just StewMac regular pickups, and I don't like them. But yeah, there it is. My headstock there, I was inspired by Eddie Van Halen's original Wolfgang from Peavey. So I like that little carve there, but I did the little flares there because it's kind of neat. So boom, made that one. Pretty nifty, huh? Let's see, what else do we got here? From somebody who doesn't build guitars. Here's another body that I never got to finish. I screwed this one up too because the pickup holes there. Yeah, screwed that up. But it's all filthy. Ugh, it even got wet. Because it's just been sitting in the garage. But it's still perfectly good. All mahogany from that big chunk of mahogany I told you about earlier. There we go. I should do something with this one of these days. Yeah. And I got a bass chunk. This was a bass. And I built another bass that I gave to my ex-wife's father, my ex-father-in-law. Made him a guitar and a bass. So 2. Those are gone. Never see them again. Great. Good stuff. But here's a bass I was making. Never got to it. I just quit making stuff. 24 fret, 4-string bass. Full chunk of body. Chunk is heavy. Whoa, boy, diddly do. And what else we got? So I quit doing that, and I'm like, that's so expensive. Between the tools and just the wood, it's very expensive stuff. So what did we do? We're just going to go ahead and do parts casters. So I'm going to take chunks, pieces of other stuff and put them together. This is a body I got from Amazon or one of those guitar kit things, I don't know, and painted it yellow. But this neck, funny story with this neck is off the very first guitar I ever got when I was like 12, 13 years old. A Mako traditional TB1. Love this neck. It's a freaking it's a baseball bat. I love it. Tiny little frets, little old school Fenderies. This is where the David Gilmour EMGs ended up on here. One of my favorite guitars ever, right here. And it's a part caster. I just screwed it together and took some spray paint, and here it is. Bing. One of my all-time favorites. Old school Fendery neck. Probably a basswood body. Don't know. Don't care. I'm not into that tone wood garbage. Then we got a Fender Squier I got from a neighbor down the street a long time ago. And I turned this into my Fakey Lee. This is my Jakey Lee inspired Charvel. Seymour Duncan. It's got the pearl paint job. Pretty neat. Love it. Actually sounds great. One of the guitars I play all the time. Sounds great. I actually, it's a maple neck, but I stained it mahogany color because his new Charvel has got that. So I thought, why not? Yeah. So I did that. And then I've got, stuff's falling all over the place. This one I bought off of Facebook for like a couple $100. Squire neck, reverse headstock. This guy was like trying to go for the Stevie Ray Vaughan or something, but I'm like, brew. So I put in a Seymour Duncan JB, new pick guard. Great sounding neck, feels great. Love this. Couple $100 guitar. Love it. And then I have my, guitars are falling everywhere. I have my Eddie Van Halen obsession, so I have my Frankie that I've been working on forever. Actually, I haven't been working on it. I stopped working on it a long time ago because I'm lazy. Here's the neck. This is going to be the Feels So Good version of the Frankie with the banana headstock. Here we go. Ow, just hit myself in the face. Work in progress. One day. I'll finish it. And then, of course, we got the one that I'm working on now. The George Lynch Bones. Music Craft neck. Holy Grail neck. And the guitar, the body from Christopher Locke. Sorry, Chris. Christopher Woods. He makes the CNCs, the bodies. And I bought a very rough version. You can get it like cleaned up or whatever. I got mine kind of rough. So there it is. So yeah, sorry, you don't build guitars. You don't. You screw them together. You take some spray paint, you spray it on there. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're not a builder. You're not building crap. And you're not a luthier. None of you. Sorry. There may be a few of you, and this might piss some people off, but you're not building anything. Oh, my next guitar build. Sorry, you're not. You're not a builder. I'm not either. And I've actually built them from ground up. I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah. There's all my parts casters, my builds, real builds. So, stop using the word luthier. The guy that works at the music store that's putting your strings on is not a luthier. He's not. He's just not. Maybe he is. I don't know. Any guitar store I've ever been to, I used to work at a guitar store. I wasn't a luthier. I changed strings. I was a guitar tech, I guess. At the very least, a guitar tech. Other than that, I'm just some schmuck with long hair in there, changing the strings. That's about it. What we got in here, there's some strings. Want me to lower the action so it's a little buzzy, but not too buzzy? That's what I can do. That's it. So sorry you don't build guitars. You never did build guitars. You take a screwdriver and you screw the neck onto a body. Nitpicky. That's what I do. And I'm just trying to piss everybody off because I'm feeling spunky today because you don't build guitars. You never did build guitars. And I'm sick and tired of people saying they build guitars when they don't. They just screw things together and take some spray paint and go, psh, look at me. There is an art to the painting, though. If you do a great job, man, there's nothing, you can't, there's no taking that away. Like, I know the guys that do the Frankies, the relics, the replicas. Whew, man, good Lord. The amount of skill that it takes to, like, I'm in these groups. I'm in all these guitar builders groups, parts caster groups, luthier groups, Van Halen replica groups. So believe me, I see this all the time. I'm in this all the time. And the amount of talent it takes to do a replica is it's something to be appreciated. They do a great job, far better than I could ever do. There's a lot of these guys don't even play guitar; they're just great at what they do. You know, they're really good. I think it's very artistic, very artsy. It takes a certain amount of skill to do this kind of stuff. CNC stuff, that's just another tool in the old toolbox. You know, yeah, I CNC it instead of taking a bandsaw and and all that stuff. You know, you're using a CNC. It's just another tool in the toolbox that doesn't take anything away. It doesn't make you it's cheating. No, it makes it faster. It makes it faster, and everything's now the same. That's why you can get these guitars from China that, like, okay, so here we go. China. I'll just grab this because it's the closest. But this is one of those Fireflies. These things, they have the same CNC machines we do here in the United States. The construction is flawless. Sure, you're going to have crap, pot metal parts, the bridges, the pickups aren't real copper. It's going to be pot metal, probably. The tuners, substandard, it's getting better, but these have come a long way. These, made in China. You can't, if you did a blind test, you wouldn't know. I mean, honestly, you probably, if you're awesome, you could. But, almost dropped it. Dude, everybody's got the same CNC machine that it's on, like Donkey Kong. People are doing this everywhere. I got people on my Facebook groups that they sell bodies and necks and they do all this stuff, and they put a lot of effort into getting the tolerance, like not tolerances, but just getting them exactly right. Like an Ibanez Destroyer that Eddie Van Halen used to make the Shark. They don't have these guitars. They just look at pictures and this, that, and the other, and they figure it out. It's amazing. It takes a lot. That's a lot of skill, a lot of patience. You got to give it to them. They're not, just because they're using a CNC machine doesn't mean they don't know what the hell they're doing. They do. They know what they're doing. So anybody, it's like I made all these guitar necks and bodies I made. They're all by hand. That doesn't make me special. It just makes me poor that I can't afford to. Even though back then CNC machines didn't exist when I was doing that, or if they did, they were like $80,000. I don't know. I'm making that up. But yeah, carving a neck by hand is fun. That's my favorite part of building a guitar, is taking a chunk of wood and carving it with rasps and little files, and it's awesome. Love it. You don't build guitars. You don't. If you do, good for you. But for you folks that just screw the neck on there and throw some strings on it, you're not a builder. You're not. Sorry. So just keep that in mind, because I'm just blowing smoke. Hey, you guys have a great time. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and like the video. Until next time, folks. It's all I know.